This company makes almost no profit, and a group of investors just decided it's worth $965 billion. That's the AI startup Anthropic, and that number is knocking on the door of $1 trillion. It just filed, quietly, to go public, so soon the rest of us may get a say in that price. But before anyone tells you it's a genius bet or an obvious bubble, let's answer a simpler question. What does a valuation like that actually mean? Here's the whole idea in one sentence. A company's valuation is the price of one small slice, multiplied out across the entire company. Picture a kid's lemonade stand. Someone offers $10 for 1% of it, just a tiny slice. If 1% costs $10, then 100%. The whole stand is worth $1,000. Nobody has $1,000 in the cash box, and the stand hasn't earned $1,000. It's a price tag that one buyer's offer stamped on the whole thing on paper. That's a valuation, not the money in the bank, not the profit it makes, but the price the newest buyer just agreed to pay, scaled up to the whole company. And when finance people say post-money valuation, they just mean that price tag after the new investment lands, counting the fresh cash inside the company. So watch how one company's price tag got to almost $1 trillion, because it didn't happen in one jump. Back in 2021, Anthropic was a young startup valued at well under $1 billion. Every couple of years, a new group of investors bought a fresh slice, and each time, they paid a higher price for it. By early 2025, that price tag was in the tens of billions. By the end of 2025, over $100 billion. And in May 2026, the newest investors put in $65 billion of fresh cash, and that deal stamped the whole company at $965 billion. That's the line you're watching. Not sales, not profit, just the price each new investor was willing to pay, climbing round after round. One quick honesty check, because we always show the receipts. Only that final number is rock solid from Anthropic's own announcement. The earlier steps are the shape of the climb, and we only put a number on screen when we can verify it. Okay, is $965 billion a fair price or a crazy one? Here's the back of the napkin check anyone can do. You take the valuation and divide it by the company's revenue. Anthropic's revenue is running at about $47 billion a year, and that's a run rate, meaning its recent pace annualized, not a full year it has already banked. $965 billion divided by about $47 billion is roughly 20. So investors are paying about $20 for every $1 of yearly sales. For comparison, a typical big, established company in the S&P 500 is priced at around $3 per dollar of sales, and even a beloved blue chip like Coca-Cola sits near 5 or 6. So Anthropic is priced at something like 6 or 7 times the multiple of an average public company. That single fact is the whole debate, and it genuinely cuts both ways. If its revenue keeps roughly doubling the way it just did, today's price could look cheap in a few years. That's the bull case, and it's a real one. If that growth slows or rivals catch up, then paying 20 times sales for a company that isn't very profitable yet is exactly what people mean by a bubble, and that's a real case too. We're not here to tell you which one wins. The point is that now you can read the number instead of just reacting to it. So here's the whole thing in one sentence. A valuation is a price times a story, what one investor paid for a slice, multiplied across the company, based on how big they think it'll get, not cash in the bank and not profit. Anthropic's story is that it keeps growing fast, and that story is what a near $1 trillion price is really betting on. As of today, its move to go public is only a confidential filing. No date and no share price are set, so nobody actually knows the final number yet. One quick, honest note. This is a neutral explainer, not a thumbs up or thumbs down on any company or its stock. And of course, this is education, not financial advice. A giant valuation is a bet, not a promise. Next time, why the cash sitting in your wallet quietly loses value every single year even if you never spend it. Inflation, with real data going back decades. Subscribe so you're never the last person to understand the biggest number in the headlines.